can't really get much better than this family on Christmas Eve, I tell you.
So what part are you at right now, Nick?
I'm at the part where he's they're around a campfire and they're all wasted as hell, it seems like. And he's blowing into a harmonica here. I was just gonna say it's like it's become clear that every kill is a tantric orgasm, right?
Yeah. Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to Cool's Reviews. It's the holiday season, so we thought we would pick a holiday movie. I don't know, we picked a slasher from 1983 that takes place during Christmas called Blood Beat. As you can see, you can get it on Blu-ray thanks to Vinegar Syndrome, the same people who did Tammy and the T-Rex, another one we've covered on the channel. That was a lot of fun.
Also did Tammy. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, they specialize in some of these like lesser known movies. And Tammy was a lot of fun. I know we all enjoyed it.
So good.
It was Sam's first boutique Blu-ray that he bought.
Oh my goodness. That's actually legendary.
Yeah, Tammy and the T-Rex. Well, we'll go around. As you can see, we got Nick here. Nick, how are you doing today?
I am doing great, dude. I have been enjoying this movie, and I'm only in like the last 10 minutes here, so I'm excited to see where we go.
It gets bonkers. Nick is watching. We're kind of getting some live reactions from him, as you can see, as he's watching this finale of a pretty strange movie.
That's why it's like so I'm not surprised that you said it's by the same people that did Tammy and the T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's not like it's utterly unwatchable. It's definitely like it's got good moments throughout, I would say.
Yeah, it falls kind of in that Trolls 2 category where it's not a great film per se, but it has its moments where you're like, I can enjoy some of it.
I think the filming is really well done, which is like why you could say that maybe.
Yeah. Well, we'll go to Sam. Sam, without spoiling the conclusion before Nick gets there, what were your thoughts with this unique Christmas slasher film?
It was definitely quite interesting, and you spoiled the ending for us before we even watched it, so Nick's getting a good treatment because we did watch this before, or we watched the ending.
Oh yeah, because of the reviewer.
Mm-hmm. And it explained to us, but
about things that we'll get to after Nick gets there.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not bad if it's interesting, weird, entertaining though.
Matt, what were your feelings with this holiday slasher film?
Dude, it's right up there with Die Hard, man. It's among some of my top slasher bloody Christmas movies now. Top 5 at least. It was interesting. I mean, I don't know. Can't say much more than it was interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to it once Nick finishes. As you can see, it's just getting wackier and wackier. I can see it off of his expression.
Would we consider Die Hard a Christmas slasher?
Well, it's got blood, so
yeah.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna always refer to Die Hard as a Christmas slasher in the future.
Heck yeah!
The amazing Christmas slasher Die Hard feature.
Just tell the doubters out there. Well, if you want to call it a Christmas movie, then it's also a slasher film too.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Disney Plus does include Die Hard in their Christmas selections, so people are coming around to it. Well, Sam, why don't we talk about the acting a little bit? How did you feel with the acting in this film?
I'll have to get back to that. I'll be right back.
Okay. Matt, what about you? How did you feel with the acting from our cast?
It's like I would compare it to like a YouTube acting crew. Definitely some ones that made you wonder what they really were. The thought intention was, it's like, is he supposed to be scared, or is he like just like being modest with his like look, and the young lady having the orgasm. I think then I think the gatekeeper in the Ghostbuster film, she was at least 3 feet off the bed. I can't really knock it. I don't know how much budget was spent on it, but I don't think I recognized any of the cast. So definitely that mediocre YouTube style cast of characters.
Let me see what its budget was. That is a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. Definitely agree. It's got that YouTube level emotion quality.
Yeah, I could almost say same with like the camera work. You could tell if it wasn't, maybe for the graphics they use, maybe they spent the money there, but definitely some camera etiquette needed to be practiced.
Yeah, it just says 0 budget, so I'm not actually sure what they
$0.
spent.
That's all we needed to know. $0 went into this movie.
I'm sure it was more than 0, but it was very, very low budget.
All these people's time was worth $0, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it said it was filmed in Wisconsin on 35 millimeter.
Okay. Is that more expensive or less expensive?
I don't know, but it says that the director of photography thought the film was being shot for television, so he filmed it in full screen instead of widescreen.
Okay.
So little facts there for you.
That's so funny that they just still went ahead and went for it. They're like, okay, well, you're not doing it for television anymore. This is a full movie now. I'm in this last scene here, and it looked like the guy just said words, but you can't hear him speaking. He's like, it looks like he's trying to say stuff, but you can't actually hear the words as the samurai is coming up here. I'm assuming to kill them. Okay. Seems like he just axed the samurai.
Oh, you're in the woods, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, and he just took an axe to the samurai, and it just collapsed. And he's picking up the face mask.
Matt, did you get any like Darth Vader vibes maybe while watching this one?
Maybe just the slightest bit.
With the breathing of the samurai and how it was like,
well, especially when they were in the house of the couple that were slaughtered.
oh yeah, that elderly couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Nick's about to learn the backstory.
She's been painting the backstory the whole time. That's that what we're getting at here.
Oh no, you're gonna get it like pulled right to you.
Oh, okay.
See, we will have to, when we do our Hard Ticket to Hawaii one, we should all be in the same room. We'll just record us reacting to it, and we'll talk that way. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's actually a super good format.
Was that kind of like a mystery sci-fi 3000 type
Yeah,
thing where we're all like, oh, look at that shit?
Yeah. I mean, me and Sam were having quite a good time reacting to it in Fort Sumner when we were doing that. So, Sam, now that you're back, what did you think about the acting in this film?
The actors were pretty goofy and at parts definitely overreacting to some things.
Oh, Nick hasn't even seen the final scene.
Okay.
Just the acting in it yet. It's so good.
Yeah, some of them were. I thought dude was going to poop himself with how much he was straining his face at parts.
They just axed the samurai. Could you imagine if that's where it ended?
That would be so bad.
They're just like, all right, it's over. We killed him. We killed the samurai demon.
But she is the samurai demon, right? Okay, wait. Now she's burning the picture with her hand, like using chi. to burn the pic. Is that her own picture?
Oh,
It's
he's
like the
about.
Jedi mind tricks there that she's playing.
Yeah, yeah. Just doing the Jedi mind tricks and burning the picture. Dude, the goofy guy in the plaid shirt that's throughout the movie, he just has that look on his face of like, no. He's got that blank stare look, dude. Oh my lord, dude. She still has the samurai powers. And she's I can't even really describe it. She's making him have an orgasm or what happening at this point. He's going like cross-eyed, gyrating. Okay, she blasted him back. I see. This is wild, man. Okay, what in the hell is that makeup that they just put on that lady, dude? Is that like demon samurai makeup?
Well, Matt, do you want to explain a little bit about maybe this synopsis of this film?
That one was, I don't know. It's a hard one to follow. I know, like, the beginning, I went and visited the guy's mom, and the lady and her had some weird connection where, like, they knew each other and something like that, and it's something to do with some paintings on the wall in the bedroom. And I'm still trying to really wrap my head around the whole synopsis of the movie, too. But all of a sudden, like, then the samurai appears shortly after she cut herself on a blade. She was messing around with it while everyone else was partying in the game room. I don't know why she wasn't down there partying up too. But and then all of a sudden that's when like the samurai kind of like made his appearance, her appearance, and the slashing started.
Now,
And
what do
then
you
this,
feel with the cinematography of this film, Matt?
oh dude, not great. Like there were times where they used so much. I forget what the color filtration was. Where I'm like, I'm looking at my TV like, shit, is the TV going out or? And then it would like
Which,
pop back to normal, and I'm like, okay, no, it just something wrong with the like. It had me lost for a minute because I mean, it showed some of the stuff with like the glowing hands, and I didn't think of any of that. But then when the whole screen went blue and red or green, I'm like, oh shit, something's wrong with the TV. But then like the samurai, I thought had normal powers, but I guess it could also teleport because the dude like locked the samurai in the house, but yet he drove down the road and all of a sudden the samurai was right there on him again. So I'm still like trying to figure out what superpowers the samurai has. Um, I'm just like lost with the whole, I guess, powers of the samurai.
I can see where Sam said that he looks like he was gonna shit himself. Because he just looks like he's like the most constipated he's ever been and just shaking. It just is now finally rolling credits now. Yeah. So yeah, they took out the samurai demon. But they were infused with the powers of the old lady, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and she was the samurai demon's sister.
Right. Yeah.
See, it all wrapped it together at the end.
Yeah, yeah. And she never told anyone, but it seems like she now that I think about it, it seems like she knew the whole time that it was her sister.
Also, it's not weird to her at all that this lady's like dating her son.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind
Exactly.
of odd.
So weird.
All right, so now we can talk about it. Nick's now seen the film. So, Matt, what are your thoughts now with the whole entirety of this film? Now that you can talk spoilers, if you got something you really want to talk about, scene or whatever.
Like I said, the whole point of the movie, I'm just was kind of lost with it. I don't know what Christmas had to do with the whole shit. Maybe it was just a holiday that they threw in there with it. I don't know what I can really say about it other than, just it was more of a confusing movie for me as I'm sitting there watching, trying to put stuff together. Like, where the hell did this person come from? Or the one dude in the Bronco, man, he or not Bronco, but it looks like a Ford Bronco, but I think it's the Chevy version of it, whatever they called it back in the day. Homie G got some mad air. I don't know if you caught that, like in the beginning of the film, like good 20 feet off the ground and landed with perfect suspension. I would love to have a car that gets that type of suspension. But yeah, like I said, just overall a hard movie to follow. It left me thinking more, and then I couldn't really focus on the movie. And then at the end, it was like, well, shit.
We'll see on the Blu-ray. It actually has commentary, so we could watch it because the commentary comes from the writer director, so he
No.
could explain the choices.
Amazing. That dude, that would be the way to truly, I feel like, finish this movie. You know?
There also is a silent version. It's only 28 minutes long on here. I gotta watch that and see what that does.
I would never have thought you would go that far.
Because like there were parts when I was watching this and I was like, this would make a good silent film because it was just like reactions, no voice, and just music. And I was like, this reminds me of those early silent films. So maybe they were kind of going for that. Now that I look at it, I don't know. I guess I don't know who put together the silent version. Sam, Nick's now watched it. So what are your thoughts on the movie in its entirety? Is there any scenes that you want to talk about?
I mean, all the hunting scenes are just like extremely ridiculous, and it kind of made me feel like it was what is that movie?
Rambo.
Like a Blair Witch like scene that was just like obscene, like forest things, and they're just like, you see them like aiming at something and you're just like, there's nothing there. Like, what are you guys pointing at?
Dude, even in the beginning when they roll up in the car and he's got the deer that is hung from the tree and he's like trying to, I guess, like remove the guts from the deer into a bucket and he's got blood all over his hands. He just like picks up like a tiny little pile of leaves and like mashes it together so that he can like give them a hug and like shake their hand. So weird.
Yeah. I will say during the hunting scene too, where they all miss and there's like 4 of them, and all it takes is her being like, no, and they're all like everyone misses, and I was like, how did not one person hit?
Also, like, I loved how, I mean, if you do hunt, then you would know, you would never have a person with a compound bow hunting just alongside people with rifles. It's like a totally different season. You wouldn't even have like, you just wouldn't see that happen like that. I do know that I've seen people hunt in groups like that where multiple people will take a shot at once, right? You've seen stuff like that? But you don't see an archer just in the background, like also trying to take a shot too. I don't think that's even legal, right? Those are different parts of the season, different parts in the year of the hunting season.
We'll have to look. This was filmed in Wisconsin, so maybe they got different regulations.
Yeah, they can.
And it could be like a family like hunting spot to where like the rules kind of are different there, with like owned property or like a shared property.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I think that's the guy that like came out of nowhere. I'm like, who the fuck was this guy?
Yeah.
But like during that chase scene, I don't know if you remember, they were hunting the deer or whatever, and they were, in the woods clearly. But then it looked like as she was running, and it was only in the parts where she was running, it looked like she was in a, what do they call it, an orchid,
Orchard.
like an orchard, where it's just a valley of trees. And then when they showed the guys chasing her, they were back like in the woods where trees are misaligned and everything. And then they'd go back to her in like a open part of the orchard. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm really confused now. Because they didn't show at any point that the people that were chasing her ever went through the orchard. You know, it was like, huh. I don't know if you saw that, or maybe my brain was just playing tricks on me, but that was another part. I was trying to figure out with the hunting scene.
So, I guess the question is, what is probably the strangest thing in this movie? Sam, why don't you go first?
Honestly, probably the orgasm killings. Or like the killings based off of orgasms. Like that was probably the strangest part about it.
Yeah.
But was it the boyfriend that had the powers at the end?
Yeah, him and his sister had powers at the end, and then they like defeated the samurai.
I see. Yeah, I see.
But wasn't that also his mother?
What happened to the girl that was having the tantric orgasms that was embodying the samurai?
She just became the samurai.
Yeah,
with
she just became one with the samurai, and so
Yeah.
she ultimately died at the end.
Yeah, she's dead.
Yeah.
Which again raises the question, like, does she have like a family? Like, are they not worried that she just didn't come back home or anything like that?
Yeah. She's just, her story's ended. And yeah, I guess that, yeah. So they didn't really do a great job of giving her like a backstory really at all.
No, she just showed up.
Yeah, she was just the girlfriend of the son, right? I guess he would have been the son of the old lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she just became possessed by the orgasmic spirit of the tantric samurai slasher.
Yeah, it's a unique Christmas movie, one you would not expect.
Up there with Die Hard, I tell ya.
Well, Nick, you are a musician. Tell us about the score of this film. What did you think of it?
Well, it's funny because I'm now like just skimming back through it as we're doing the review here, and it's got like a lot of classical themed music. It seems like a lot of like almost kind of like what would I compare it to? Like Beethoven's. I'm trying to think of which number of Beethoven, but yeah, it's got like a lot of classical theme to it, and the sound effects are really interesting. Like the vocals, the sound effects for the vocals of the samurai at the very end, I swear, is like some sort of primitive version of like a tremolo, what they call like a ring shifter in if you use that as like a plug-in on a music software, it just makes the voice sound like really wobbly and really like shaky back and forth, and kind of like it's phasing back and forth between the left and right ear when you're listening to it. And so I just thought that was so funny because I was like, it sounded like they literally just slapped one little plug-in to create that vocal, which is just kind of funny in terms of an audio perspective. Like in terms of an audio engineering perspective, that's like the easiest, most simplistic possible thing that you could do. But yeah, that's I just found that to be funny. But yeah, music wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. I'm actually surprised that, considering it says the budget was $0, that they were able to get music like that. I mean, you know, like it makes me wonder, did they just use like royalty-free classical music, or did they actually have music created for the movie? Because I would almost doubt that they would have music created for the movie if it was such a low budget movie like that, because they would have to hire basically a symphony, you know, like an orchestra / symphony to actually record that and do that.
We'll see. Now this means we got to watch the commentary to find out.
Yeah, exactly. Does it say that it has like a musical director or that it had a composer for the soundtrack? I guess I could look into that, but
Not where I'm. No, at
That's
least not on the case.
Well, they had that one song that oh, it's a choir song. I would butcher the name if I tried to
Oh,
pronounce it, but
at the end.
yeah, where I'm like, oh, I know this one.
Yeah, and the final battle where it's like do 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 do
Yeah.
do do. Yeah.
Do 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 do. You get the high notes. It's like, oh yeah, it's going down.
So the tagline for this one: "Who can survive its reign of terror?" Let's see.
How did the samurai choose its victims too? Like it was so random.
I don't know, because like the older family, at least they were like neighbors or something. But what about those like random dudes just like chilling around the campfire?
yeah, that was just totally for funsies. That was just to get her rocks off, right? Not pardon the pun, but yeah.
Yeah,
Is the samurai a woman? Because that wouldn't be really historically accurate, right?
hey, it's a demon. Demons can be what they want.
Sure, sure.
Sam, what did you think about the music in this one? No Hard Ticket to Hawaii theme song, unfortunately, but
No. Like Nick said, it was classical music. At some points, it was just a little much or like too much for what was happening. And then at other parts, it kind of worked with it. But I do think the neighbor or like that one dude that got at their house was actually the poacher, and he shot that one random guy. Is what I was getting from what he was discussing with his wife.
Could have been, yeah. I mean, that makes sense too. If he's just a neighbor, he could easily just go on their land.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess,
Yeah, I think-
and then they did say at some point in the movie there were shots sounded like it came from the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who was that random dude? We never knew.
Does it say in the credits just like guy on the street or
Just
Guy in woods.
Rest in peace to the random dude.
yeah, I'll go through the credits here and see if I can see it.
top cast. There's 17 cast members. No, so IMDb doesn't list anything. They have Kathy, Gary, Dolly, Ted, Sarah. So that's the family and the demon samurai. Then there's Uncle Pete, Paul, Christy, Sheriff, Little Girl, First Hunter, Second Hunter, Third Hunter, Fourth Hunter, First Attendant, Second Attendant, Third Attendant, and that's it. That's all that's listed.
Stuntman at the end of that, it says there. And there's actually 2 stuntmen, it looks like, under the stuntman category.
One's
the credits at the actual end of the movie here.
One's definitely got to be the samurai, like underneath the samurai outfit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think the soundtrack for me, especially in the scenes where it was like prolonged, no, like just talking, and the music was going real kind of operatical and stuff like that, it reminded me of the silent films, I think. So I'm actually, I want to watch that 28-minute silent film now.
Dude, it's so funny. I feel like that might be the more legendary version to watch.
I'll let you guys know. We'll come back. We'll do a part 2, the silent version. Matt, what were your thoughts with the soundtrack?
I'm gonna sign on to Apple Music and download the soundtrack right now, man. No, like I said, it was just the one song I recognized. Otherwise, I didn't think much of it. Didn't really affect the movie either way, I don't think. Sorry, I was on puppy duty. So, but yeah, no, I just nothing super stand out about it or anything like that.
Well, Nick, now that you've watched the film, tell us your thoughts on it, like in entirety.
It's a film that I at first was like, oh, this is gonna be a hard to watch film. And then it like as I had imagined myself trying to do a review of it, I began to just laugh more and more. Because at first I was like trying to get to the point of where I could be like, okay, it's actually like it's bad, but it's funny bad, you know? And I definitely was finally able to get to that point, and then I just like was actually enjoying it by that point because I was like, okay, there's some hilarious motifs and themes going on here that don't really make that much sense and aren't explained very well, like the tantric orgasms and the weird. It is like, in a way, you could say it's good at keeping the suspense of mystery because you are just sort of confused, but then it does like explain it for you at the end. So at least there is a story there, and it's not a completely like discombobulated, disjointed mess. It has a bit of a resolve, even if it's not like the most potent or well done like conflict resolved there at the end with the guy basically shitting his pants to destroy the samurai demon. But I would say overall I enjoyed it and I liked it.
Well, on that note, Sam, what are your final thoughts, ratings, and recommendations for this one?
I mean, usually final thoughts with movies like this is basically if you want to go on an interesting movie journey, check out this film. I guess I would kind of recommend this. I mean, if you want to see something just kind of out of the pocket and not just the same stuff over and over again, like most superhero movies and most movies nowadays, it's just the same stuff rehatched. This is kind of original and out of the box, so I mean, I would definitely recommend it and rate it. We'll do the Keegan 10 of 6.
I didn't mention that recently. Someone asked me why I rated something 8.5 out of 10 versus 10 out of 10. I was like, hey, most of the time Matt and Sam like comment how I'm always like 6 out of 10. So you got to feel lucky it was 8.5. Matt, what about you? What are your final thoughts on this movie, Bloodbeat, and ratings recommendations?
I think Nick kind of hit the nail on the head. It was so bad, it was actually maybe somewhat entertaining. It couldn't help but laugh a few times with it. Ratings probably going to be close to Sam, maybe 6.5, 7. Can't say I would not recommend it, but also wouldn't necessarily say, oh yeah, this is a must see. So if you got an hour and a half to kill one night and want to see a silly Christmas slasher film, check it out. It's free on Tubi.
Or you can pick up the Vinegar Syndrome Boutique Blu-ray. Get a bunch of cool features.
1000%.
The acting prowess of Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman, but it's up there.
Well, Nick, what are your final thoughts, ratings, and recommendations with this film?
Oh man, final thoughts I would say is, yeah, definitely has enjoyable moments. I would say it's probably not for it's not just for like you wouldn't just tell like any random person, oh yeah, you should go check that out. It's more for like a movie buff kind of crowd of people that are interested in movies that are so bad that they're good, you know, that they're unique in that way, that they can make you laugh because of either how poorly they were done or just the choices that were made overall in the story or whatever. Unlike the movie Dinosaur, I will say that this would be a good movie to put on if you were trying to, you know, have a date or hook up, and you know, might get you in the mood. And as for ratings, I'll give it a 6.9 for the tantric orgasmic effect that the movie has.
And yeah, I would have to at least agree on the for everybody type of movie. Um, I feel like if you're a film buff and you love just watching movies, or you're a fan of B movies and especially 80s B movie slashers, you'll probably find something to enjoy. If you're one that likes to watch The Room and Birdemic and all these other ones we always talk about that are like so good because they're so bad, like Trolls 2. I think you might find it. Not for everyone, probably not a family movie either. I would say negative on that base. Is it a well-made movie? No, but it's interesting enough. I could probably give it like a 5. Like not terrible. It's watchable because it's so bad, maybe. But I mean, it tried something different on a very low budget, and it's a slasher that I actually watched. So I'm not a huge slasher fan most of the time. So. But I've been wanting to do this one because it's a Christmas themed movie. We were going to do it last year, but we just kind of ran out of time. So we finally got back around to it. And yeah, we'll be having some more stuff popping up here on the channel soon. So keep an eye out. Nick, you got some new stuff coming out. Do you want to tell everyone about it?
Oh, yeah. This Tuesday on December 10th, which will be my birthday, I have my biggest and most epic all-original song coming out. I make this sort of like psychedelic dance music, and I create these pretty elaborate psychedelic visual music videos that takes me just an incredibly long time to be able to actually get it right and to properly get the visuals looking correct, and to also get all of the mixing and the mastering done on all of my audio, because I'm just using a Roland electronic drum set and a Yamaha MIDI keyboard to make it all. And yeah, that will be released on my YouTube channel, as well as my Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and Twitter, for my music project, which is called Eclectisphere, and that's spelled ECLECTISPHERE. And yeah, you can find me on any and all of those platforms. And thanks so much for your support.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Always a fun time to have you on the channel, watch some movies. We'll definitely get back to rewatching Dinosaur Russ at some point, since that one didn't work. And then we'll also do Popeye along with some other ones. And yeah, we'll have some good stuff on the horizon. I know something that we're working on getting back into the rhythm of are some best burgers in Colorado. Isn't that right, Matt?
Oh, you know it, man. We're ready to start tearing into that beef patty.
Yeah, I think we'll be back into filming that one here coming up soon. So keep an eye out. New episodes of that one shall be dropping soon. And I know Sam and Matt are going to be working on a collab between Spirits of the Silver Screen and Weekly Abductions with a, maybe we could say, cult classic. It's on another boutique label, but it is based off a true story. Sam, are you excited? We won't spoil it, but are you pretty excited to do that one?
Yeah, I definitely am.
Dang, I'm going to have to watch that one. You got me hyped for that one now.
But yeah, if you guys want more Cools reviews, click that link to your left. If you guys want to see more of what we're doing here at Cools Paranormal Studios, click the link to your right. Don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe, and let us know, is there a wacky movie we need to watch and talk about? Tell us in the comments below.